Okay, so that wasn't too bad in the rant. I thought I was going to rant a lot more considering the form I'm in, but I thought I did all right in the rant there. Moving on to my second topic, which is overeating, and I wanted to talk about this because I kind of glossed over the whole overeating thing last week. So I just wanted to touch on it a little bit more. And overeating, it's very individual. One person's overeating could be another person's undereating. It completely depends on your gender, your activity levels, your metabolism, your current weight. There's like a lot that goes into it. But basically, overeating would be eating too many calories in one sitting for your body to use for energy. So, and it happens easy. It happens a lot of times to us. So, like, I would say a large majority of us overeat when we go to restaurants, unless you're used to eating 3 meals at home for your dinner. You know, you have to start a main course and dessert. Most days during the week, we probably don't do that. So when we go out for a restaurant, we tend to overeat there. We might have bigger portions when watching TV because we're more mindlessly eating then. We're not really thinking about what we're eating, and we tend to overconsume there. I know for myself that if I overeat, I try to eat less throughout the day and then just enjoy that meal. So I'm heading out in the restaurant on a whatever night it is the week. If I'm heading out, definitely not during the week, but let's say Friday, Saturday, whatever it is, heading out for a bigger meal, I try to eat less throughout the day. And then obviously I'm going to overeat down in the restaurant, but I just enjoy it. It is what it is. I don't punish myself for it. I enjoy the meal. And then trying to have a little bit less next meal, get back on track, and I don't beat myself up over it. So if you feel like you need to nap after food or you're feeling bloated, you've probably overeaten. And here are my 7 tips to avoid overeating, and it happens from time to time. So here's my 7 tips to just keep conscious of it, try to avoid it a little bit, and overall try and keep yourself in a calorie deficit if you're trying to lose weight or maintain calories if weight is not an issue for you right now. So the first thing would be to drink a pint of water before every meal. If you drink a pint of water before every meal, you're not going to feel as hungry during the meal. Number 2, which I'm not too sure if this advice definitely works. It's basically have smaller plates. I know whatever size of plate I have, I'm going to fill that plate. So just be more conscious of the size of your food portions on the plate, I suppose. You're probably not going to get rid of all your big plates and get rid of the 12-inch plate from 9-inch plate or whatever, but just be a little bit more conscious of the amount of food that's going on your plate. I know myself, no matter how much food is on that plate, I will eat. So be careful of that. And speaking of being mindful, point number 3 is mindful eating. So try not to eat while you're watching TV. It's better to sit at a table, eat with friends when possible. But if you're mindlessly, watching TV or YouTube, whatever it is, you'll tend to eat more than you need to eat because you're not thinking about whether you're full or not. Number 4, and this kind of conflicts a little bit with number 3 for me, and that's eating at the same time each day. So my morning routine would be I get up, have my glass of water. Sometimes I don't eat in the morning. I head off, I do my 6 a.m. sessions, my PTs, whatever it is. I come back around 8, 9 o'clock, and from then I'll cook my breakfast and I'll have the laptop out in front of me and I'll be watching YouTube, whatever it is, while having my meal. So it's like, hang on, Sean, that's not really mindful eating. But the difference is that I'm eating struggling my words there. The difference is tip number 4 is eat at the same time each day. So I know exactly what I'm going to eat. I have me 3 pieces of bacon and I have me 3 eggs. That's the same every weekday morning of the week. I have that. I have the YouTube out in front of me or whatever I'm watching. I have me certain things I watch during the week, and I'm sitting up at the table. So while I might not be mindful of what I'm eating the exact same thing. So if you eat the same time each day and have your same kind of set meals, you're less likely to overeat, even if you are watching TV, if it fits into your routine. So you don't always have to eat without TV on, basically. Number 5, and this goes back to my morning routine, is that I have to sit at the table watching. I have to sit at the table when I'm having my food, because if I sit in the couch, I'm more than likely to nap afterwards. So if I've got a few hours before I go back into work, then for my afternoon and evening sessions. So I've got that space of the day, so I know if I have my laptop out and I'm eating my food there and then, that because I'm sitting upright and I have my coffee, I'm able to get to work straight away on the laptop or head over to the coffee shop and get to work. Whereas when I'm sitting on the couch, I'm too relaxed, whatever, I'll just nap. But sitting up straight helps you get on with the rest of the day rather than just sitting, especially if you feel like you've overeated. If you nap after that, you're just going to feel a hell of a lot worse afterwards. Number 6 is to keep temptations away from you. I slipped up yesterday because I was eating my dinner. I was waiting for my dinner to cook and I was sitting at the table, and right there in front of me was like, I'd say a quarter bag of nachos from the night before. People were eating crisps. I actually wasn't eating those crisps the night before, but they were laying right there. They were open. They were either going to go off and get thrown out in the bin, or I was going to eat them right there in the spot. And I slipped up and I ate them right there in the spot. But, but I wasn't that hungry. Even though I had dinner on, I could have waited the 20 minutes, but they were right there in front of me. I had to eat them. And that's my fault. I slipped up. And I talked about this before. As the day progresses, it gets harder and harder to avoid temptation. You have a certain level of resistance, and it's strongest to start in the morning. But as the day goes on, you get more tired. Slip ups happen easy, so just get the temptations away from you. If you have something like whatever on the table, you're more than likely to eat it as you're waiting on food. Just like, just have a little nibble. I didn't mean eat the rest of the bag. I was like, just a little, just one or two. Next thing I knew, they were all gone. I felt like crap over it, basically. Number 7 is to learn from your mistakes when you do overeat. Case in point for me, especially now that it's getting cold, there'll be some afternoons I'll go to the shop and like, the soup's on offer. I'll have a bit of soup. And sometimes if I'm feeling particularly hungry, I might want to have a bit of bread with it. And I'll go over to the bakery and I'll be like, I can either get one roll that's been just lying there on the shelf for 4 or 5 hours, or I can get the packet of 3 for €1, and I know they're fresh because they're wrapped. And I'm like, they're wrapped, they're fresh, I'm going to enjoy a nice crispy roll with my soup rather than a stale roll that I'm not really going to enjoy. The problem is, if I come back to the house with those 3 rolls, and I don't care the size of the rolls, I will eat those 3 rolls with my soup and whatever other protein I'm having. I'll eat them. There's no question about it. They're there in front of me. I'll have them, I'll feel grand, and then I'll sit on the couch, and next thing you know, I'm napping for an hour, and then I'm struggling for the rest of the day. So I've learned my mistake the hard way on more than one occasion. So I just can't have bread at all with soup, because I'm just going to have way too much carbs. I'm going to feel like crap. I'm going to feel bloated. I'll definitely have overeaten. I've done it too many times. So whatever your mistakes are for overeating, consciously think about what they are, and then try to somehow eliminate them, whatever it is, get them out of the way, or just don't buy them at all. And if you do overeat, don't beat yourself up over it. It happens to all of us. Don't punish yourself with, I have to go to the gym now to counterbalance the amount of calories I've overeaten, because you're really actually not going to on that particular day. And you're just gonna develop a bad relationship with food. Like, I have to run now for 20-30 minutes to try and limit the amount of calories I'm eating, rather than I'm going to go for 20-30 minutes because I want to go for 20-30 minutes, because I want to get healthier and want to get fitter. Now it's a case of you're punishing yourself, and that's just not going to work long term. So just get right back on track with the next meal. Dust it off. It happened. There's nothing you can do about it. Over the course of a week, if you're on track 80% of the time, that one or two sessions of overeating during the week is not going to matter.